Good morning, children. We'll continue with the Merchant of Venice. It's page 38. We will continue from where we stopped in the last class. Now, about 6 people come to see Portia in order to try their win her in marriage. And they can win her, they are eligible to marry her only if they choose the right casket. That is the casket which contains Portia's picture. Now this is the last person, Nerissa, line 80. Nerissa, how like you the German, the Duke of Saxony's nephew? Very wily in the morning when he is sober. Usually people don't drink in the morning. They start drinking in the afternoon. It goes on till the evening. And when in the morning he is sober, means he is in his senses. He is serious. Very wily, but even at that time his behavior is terrible. Very wily in the morning when he is sober, when he is not drunk at all. And most wily in the afternoon. So by the afternoon he has drunk so much that his behavior becomes more terrible. And when he is drunk, when he is best, he is a little worse than a man. When he is drunk, even at his best attitude or behavior, he is worse than a man. At his best means. And when he is at his worst, means when he has drunk so much, he is only little better than a beast. You can say that when you compare him to a beast, he is only very much little better than an animal. And the worst fall that ever fell, worst fall means the worst thing that can happen to me. I hope I shall make shift to go without him. I wish that they will not accept. I will not accept them. I hope they will not choose the right casket. Because if they choose the right casket, that is especially the German, the Duke of Saxony's nephew, if he chooses the right casket, that is the worst thing that can happen to Portia. I hope they will not choose the right casket. I shall make shift to go without him. I don't wish to accept him, so I can only hope that he will not choose the right casket. Nerissa, if he should offer to choose, if he wants to make his choice and choose the right casket, supposing he chooses the right casket, that is the German Duke, you should refuse to perform your father's will. If you should refuse to accept him, you will be disobeying your father's commands. You will not be obeying your father's will. If the German Duke chooses the right casket and if you refuse him, if you don't accept him, if you don't agree to marry him. Portia, therefore, for the fear of the worst, in order to avoid such a situation, so that the prince will not choose the right casket, I pray thee set a deep glass of Rhenish wine on the contrary casket. Rhenish is white wine and it is from Germany and it is the German Duke who is making his choice. So Portia says, I don't want him to choose the right casket because that is the worst situation which can happen. So in order to prevent him from choosing the right casket, place a glass of Rhenish. Goblet is a tall glass. Deep glass means a tall glass of Rhenish wine on the contrary casket, on the opposite casket. Now here we have a doubt whether Portia and Nerissa know in which casket the Portia's picture is placed. But that doesn't matter because Shakespeare wrote this to be enacted, to be acted on the stage as a play. And people will not bother about such small inconsistencies. For if the devil be within him, and that the temptation without, if he is tempted, if the devil tempts him to drink, he will drink that glass of Rhenish wine and he will choose that casket. I know he will choose it. I will do anything, Nerissa, ere I will be married to a sponge. Sponge is a kind of paper which absorbs ink or any other liquid. And here the German Duke is a drunkard, so she refers to him as a sponge. You need not fear, lady, the having any of these lords. You don't worry about any of these people, of these lords, of these kings and princesses who have come. They have acquainted me with their determination. They have acquainted me means they have informed me. They have told me about what they have decided, about their determination, which is indeed to return home. They have decided to go home and to trouble you with no more suit. They don't wish to try and win Portia. Unless you may be won by some other sort, then your father's imposition depending on the caskets. They don't wish to make the choice of the caskets. If Portia can be won by some other means, then they will try to win the hand of Portia. But they don't wish to make a choice of the caskets, because later on in the play we are told that anybody who wishes to make a choice of the caskets, who wants to try and win Portia's hand in marriage, they have to keep 3 conditions. The first condition is, if they choose the wrong casket, they have to leave immediately. The second is, they cannot propose marriage to another person. If they choose the wrong casket, they cannot marry anybody else. They have to remain unmarried. And the third condition is, if they choose the wrong casket, they should not argue. They should leave immediately. So these lords and princesses were not willing to keep these 3 conditions. So they go home, they return even without making a choice. Unless you may be won by some other sort than your father's imposition depending on the caskets. So if Portia can be won by some other means, not by the choice of the right casket, then they are willing to remain and try and win Portia. And Portia says, if I live to be as old as Sibylla, I will die as chaste as Diana. Even if I become old and nobody chooses the right casket, I will remain single. I will not get married. Sibylla refers to Sibyl. She was a prophetess of Cumae, and Apollo granted her a wish that she could collect sand in both her hands, and she will remain alive as long as she will have as many years to live as there are grains of sand in her hand. Now this comparison of sand is used in many places in Shakespeare.